of life and all. And we'll deal with that in a minute, what those numbers are. So now the daughter. So now the daughter is also Malkuth, which is the earth. Which also, but now in this particular sphere here, the earth is going to come and it's going to go to this particular part. The earth will go back into Kether and all the cosmic power zones. And I'm going ahead of myself right now. But I wanted to just put that out about Ma. We'll get into some more stuff on Ma in a few minutes. Now let's deal with a few things right now with, first of all, we want to deal with Ebola Zaire. Before we go into some other science. I just put that up there for the scenery, you know. Pretty picture y'all look at. And let's deal with this thing. Because first of all, we do know that the first movie that came out was last year, was the movie The Stand, which is now available at Blockbuster. A three or 4-part series by Stephen King. Now Stephen King was trained in the occult. He was trained in one of his mentors was H.P. Lovecraft, which he was trained in the occult. You see what I'm saying? As well as Steven Spielberg. So they did it. Now the occult only means that which is hidden. Your stuff that they got from you and hid it in museums around the world. So now most of the stuff that when you have the greatest writers, the one that give you the best, Gene Roddenberry, which is Star Trek, different things, those are the people because they are well gifted in the occult. Other movies get a little cheap where they show a lot of killing and stuff, but it doesn't pan out. But when you deal with the greater writers like Stephen King and Steven Spielberg and producers, you can go and take their particular films and you can actually see different things that you can pick out, just different points of knowledge. That's because they are all trained. Now, so his first movie to come out was The Stand. What happened on The Stand? It was a great outbreak of disease. They killed people in what, 48 hours? People was dying. And then they had the black woman that came and represented God, played by Ruby Dee, and the white man that represented the devil. Now, we didn't write this. The white man wrote that. You understand? So that's the first movie. The next movie was the movie that came out, Outbreak. But remember now, before the movie Outbreak came out, and you must go see this movie. Like I said before, a lot of people slept on the movie. Somebody get me a cup. I'll drink it, you know. I'll drink it Granny Jetro style before y'all get me a cup, you know. You know, the XXX style and all, you know, where they say you, where it go, you know the deal. But anyway, what happened is, oh God, I think this is regular spigot water, ain't it? Yeah, I got me, well I get it one, you got my cup, you got my jug, right? Yeah, just go get that jug too. Now, the gods can drink that, but you know how it is. And another thing too, cut down on that spigot water because it's got parasites in it. That ain't nothing but clear dookie water that they put the chlorine in and all that kind of thing. Now there's no excuse because now you can get the still water, which is your best water, for 50 cents, 59 cents. Or spring water for 59 cents at A&P. So, you know, get that kind of water, but don't be drinking that water because that water has parasites in it. You see what I'm saying? Has parasites in it. So you don't want to be drinking that kind of water. Now, going back to this particular thing, you had this show that was aired day one. Now, day one aired about 2 weeks before Ebola Zaire, before the movie Outbreak came. Now, like I said before, the movie is not out of the theater, but we've gotten reports that it will be coming to the Dollar Flick at least, if it's not this Friday, the next Friday after, you see. So it will be coming to the Dollar Flick. For those people who missed it, go see the movie, you see. Now, we got it 2 weeks before about Ebola Zaire. It was called Ebola Resnin, where it was supposed to a monkey broke out the cage in Fort Detrick, Maryland. You see what I'm saying? Now, and this so-called disease broke out damn near before the disease that just broke out last Wednesday. Now, let's go into this. They started talking about this disease and all of this particular thing, and I said, well, that's going to be the next thing that's going to hit. Then they started advertising the movie. The same week that they did the day one special, they started advertising the movie Outbreak. Now, they advertised the movie, and when we went to go see the movie, when we got in the movie, first of all, we saw Outbreak. That showed you the strain, the actual strain. They showed you how it looked. Then they showed you that it was called Ebola Zaire. Now, then what happened? We go see the movie. The movie is named Ebola Zaire. The disease is called Ebola Zaire. You see what I'm saying? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We must analyze everything. Everything. You see. Because nothing is by chance. Nothing is by coincidence. The cracker don't work on coincidence. You see what I'm saying? It's only a coincidence because you've been allowing him and giving him the excuse to say, no, he ain't evil, even though he's killing us. So therefore now, when you go and you see this movie, it's Ebola Zaire, in the movie, you know something's going down. Okay, this is the next thing. So the movie they show, now this is the key. Now you must, if you can still find some, go and get the, what's the name of the book? The Outbreak book, the little $4 book, the little $4 softback book, paperback book that they always put out before the movie. They doing the same time of the movie. They put one out for Stargate also. And get the one for Stargate if you can still find it, because it's got more in it. It goes into the myth on how Ra came about. But when we start getting into the science, we're going to tell you that Stargate was actually on it. Now, even on a greater level. All right. In the movie it says 1967. By the time the TV movie comes out last Monday, it's 1976. I'm going to tie all this in. Just start thinking for a minute. And they go into Africa, they find these people with this disease, they drop a bomb on them, kill them, and they take the strain back, they was operating on it, they make this particular drug and all this. Then the strain breaks out again. So it goes 1967, then it has present date. Now they didn't put the date in the movie because they know most black people go to movies. So black people go to movies, they know black people don't read. So therefore, when the little paperback came out, and I was up in doggone Publix supermarket, and said, let me go over here and see this. I saw the movie. I said, let me just go. Something said, go and check the book. So you know what it is? Now remember now, at this particular time, you're going down, you start dealing with more spiritual things. You have a first voice and you have a second voice. Always listen to the first voice, because you got an angel that sit on the right of you and one that sit on the left of you. They get all this from metaphysics. Always listen to the first one. You see what I'm saying? You know how that is, because you say, damn, I should have did that. Now, something say, go look at the book. So I went and looked at the book, and in the place where now in the movie they had 1967, then they had present day. In the book they had 1967, and then in the part where they had present day, they said August 15th, 1995. Now most movies don't even put the dates now, because those movies can become dated. Because this is a movie of futuristic, it can cover a large span of time. So why are you going to be specific in the book? 1995. That is because they knew what time it was, and they was trying to show the ones that was on it, as far as the white ones, or what time it is, or they was trying to create this particular thing in people's mind. Okay, then the X-File comes out about 2 weeks ago. The X-File, the TV show The X-Files. And they have their own rendition. They didn't give the name Ebola. They just said this disease, and everybody started dying. Then the movie Virus comes out last Monday. Here again, it's Ebola. Now, in the Outbreak, they got the CDC. They have Fort Detrick, Maryland. In this movie, they got the CDC. And I think they did have Fort Detrick, Maryland, I think, in this movie too. Now, mind you, if anybody saw the damn Strecker memorandum tape, when they was talking about AIDS, what did they have? Fort Detrick, Maryland, the CDC. You see what I'm saying? So now how is it that you got two doggone biological germ warfares that you calling viruses, but even if you're going to front the virus thing, why is it this time the same damn disease is jumping up again in the same places? Okay? So now on this movie, they have it, and then what happens? All of a doggone sudden, 2 days later, the virus breaks out. But when they said the virus broke out, what was the first thing they said? The first thing they said was that the virus that broke out, they said that it had to have had a 2-week incubation period, and almost 100 people had died when they announced it. So that means that the damn government already knew it. So by the time they put it on TV, they knew what time it was, because what happened? It wasn't no virus. We can't be thinking virus. We know that the government planted it. You see what I'm saying? Now, most people in the consciousness, it should not be no mistake that this was a germ warfare. I know when you go home to Mississippi, Alabama and stuff, and you tell your parents, and the first thing your parents will say was, oh, you think they did that? Oh, you think the government could do that? But you're supposed to know better, because you have had, so some of the people that's just coming in, you're supposed to know better based on spirit. But some of the people that's been in the Afrocentric community for 10 years, 5 years, or whatever, you should know this by now, because they had enough evidence on the AIDS thing. Right? Check. Okay. Now, it goes on. that in this particular movie, the one on Monday night, how did they administer it? They showed a little boy and a little girl, a man with a girl, and he had a gun, which was the same kind of gun that they used for immunization. You understand what I'm saying? Now, we know that the whole immunization thing and the whole Atlanta project, and we know all of that is based on the whole Global 2000 with Jimmy Carter. You understand? So then what happens in the movie, he runs out there and starts trying to shoot. The woman go back to her apartment, and this guy busting through the door with the gun, trying to shoot her with the gun. Some fool running around with a damn gun, trying to immunize her with Ebola Zaire. You see what I'm saying? Now, that goes back to the actual Atlanta project. Now, this is what we got. Like I said, I want to say these things again because I said it the other night. We had this because what we do is we always check things on the spiritual realm. And all you have to do is, we got enough spiritual gifted people to go and ask them serious knowledge where you would get the truth than to go in and ask them what sign I am and whether that nigga coming back or whatever type thing, or whether I'm going to get this house or whether I'm going to hit the lottery or whatever. You can use it to hit the lottery now too, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. But then again, that shouldn't be your primary focus. Because the more you learn to live without, you understand, the better off you will be, you see. Now, we got this, that in actuality, that they are going to, since it's a disease that is dealing with, since it's a disease that's dealing, that they cooked it up, that means the disease is already over here, or the virus. So what they're going to do is, the first thing they're going to do is, because every time we look, most of your black people run to the doctor, because they got all these damn free clinics. Like I said before, when I go to the doggone clinic and a man tell me he gonna pull 4 teeth for $14 a piece, when it costs $50 to $100 to pull 1 tooth, now you know something wrong, you see. But you know, I went to the free clinic, man, so I pulled 4 of your teeth for $14 a piece. I said, no, hell no you ain't, because we know that that's something wrong. Okay, then all of a sudden we know these free clinics and we know all this stuff, we know how they administer the stuff. Now Deborah Blair already came and told you that they're gonna start giving you these AIDS tests and gonna find out that you're HIV positive. Well, come to find out, he was right. But the disease that they're gonna use is Ebola. Now my man is, now we got the revolutionaries. I'm not telling people, if you got a gun or whatever, if you wanna go kill somebody, that's your business. But what I'm trying to tell you, like Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you can't fathom the depths of what this beast are going. You better be ready to correspond. You're supposed to fight him on a higher level. Now the juice is coming for you to fight him on a higher level, and you want to get down there and match wits with him, but his nature is evil. So now the brothers, now Dale Jones attacking me, Deborah Blair, a couple other people that's dealing with metaphysics, he's attacking me now, attacking other people now, because they're into the revolutionary. They want to get the 1995 Black Panther Party going again. You see what I'm saying? But the key to the whole thing is, I'm saying this here, the cracker guy, he ain't shit. The reason why he put out these assault weapons, because he's in abandoned that, otherwise you couldn't get the assault weapons. He put that out because that's old stuff. He used that in the 60s. You remember the Mattel toy factory is the people who first invented the M16. And then they took that same Mattel toy and put it into metal and made the machine gun. So they had that back in World War I. You see what I'm saying? Now, the key to that is, he abandoned that for the simple fact, the only reason why you can go and buy these Uzis in a damn pawn shop is because he got a greater weapon now. So the Ebola Zaire, hell, you say you a revolutionary, he dropped that on you, what? You got doggone 8 hours to fight. The other damn 8 hours your ass sick, and 24 hours later you dead. You ain't got but 48 hours. So I'm saying, now look, if you're going to deal with the man other than 8 hours. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Other than 8 hours. You shooting bullets, he's shooting little pellets with the shit in it. And I'm saying you got to look at this kind of stuff. But there's a greater way to do this thing. So now, based on this, they're going to conclude that black people over here have come down with the Ebola. The reason why they showed you the movie Outbreak and they showed you that it was airborne, at first they told you that the disease could not be airborne. So they showed you what happens when it gets airborne in the movie. That's for the hysteria. The reason why they told them that is for the simple fact, the first people going to come down with it, you best believe it's going to be some black people. Because it's meant for you. Because it's a government warfare. So now when this thing comes down, the first thing they're going to say is look, we know we have identified a group of people with the race that is in. So therefore, we got to quarantine them you got to quarantine black people for the simple fact that we don't want it to get airborne for the rest of America. And this sets up what? The King Alfred plan. Now we know that they've already closed down 37 army bases starting from 1989 up to now. That ain't including the concentration camps that they refurbished with from President Carter did from the Japanese thing. So we're talking about 37 facilities, and that's just army bases. Now, this constitutes, based on the Atlanta project, and let you know that this is coming in your back door, Atlanta being 85% black. And they're going to close down 13 high schools. And all it takes for a concentration camp for 13 high schools, 13 black high schools. Now, wait a minute. Let's think about this for a minute. If Atlanta is 80% black, we talking about Fulton County at least, where they had to build a 285 to contain you, and since they built the 285, black people has moved outside of the perimeter now. So many black people out there, they're starting to build a 385. Now, if they closed down 13 schools, remember Hosea Williams about to get locked up because he went in there and took over the meeting and all this here, and he had them ghetto people with him, and they was ready to throw down, and they should have went in there and cracked some heads and shit. You see, because he had the right brothers with him now. You see what I'm saying? What up, fool? So he had the brothers with him to do it. See, if I'm going to get down, I'm going to get down with the ones that are getting shot in the head every day. With the drive-by. That's the brother I want on my side. So now, anyway, they closed down 13 schools. Now, the next thing we know about them closing down 13 schools, let's say at the next fiscal year, what they going to do with all those people? Damn well, you know, doggone well, they're not closing down 13 black schools to go for these 13 black schools for white people say, because we want them to go to school with us. You see, they closing down in Carver, one of them? Now, how in the hell they going to close down Carver, which is around Carver Homes, and white people saying we want the people from Carver Homes to go to Buckhead or Marietta or wherever? Come on now. The reason why they're closing them down is because they don't intend for you to be in school next semester. But they got to have that physical budget set before the school closes so they can know how much money to allocate to the schools that they are going to keep open. So therefore they had to close them down now. Now what's happening to those schools? They're showing you what they're doing to the projects in doggone Chicago, New York and all. They're putting fences